This is how we order a Zentai suit. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about the process in which I ordered a custom Zentai suit from It's Heroes Time / Heroes Time. And basically what I did was I emailed them and I was like, hey, I see you guys do custom suits, here's the design I'm thinking about, and I sent them like a couple concept images, and I was like, how much do you think this would be? Do you think this is possible? And about 2 days later, I get a response back, and they're like, yeah, we can totally do that. It'll be like $65 if you want it to be just spandex, and like $100 something if you want us to render you a print file, which is a really cool thing. And I personally just wanted a spandex suit, so I moved on from there. However, I briefly did question how their print works, and basically you give them your dimensions and they actually will render you a print file if you want a shaded suit. Moving forward to these spandex suits, I continued talking to them and I was like, hey, here's some more reference photos of like 360, what it looks like. And they were like, cool, okay. What colors do you want? And they sent me like a board of like fabric swatches, and I went through and I like picked out the exact shade of red and the exact shade of yellow that I wanted, and it was like really user-friendly because they really made sure it was going to be what I wanted. So at this point, I had been talking to them about stuff, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm ready to place my order. So I was talking to this really nice lady, and she was like, okay, well, it's going to be $10 shipping, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to the custom suit link, and essentially it is a $1 item. And what you do is you basically type in the quantity, which for me was 75, because that was 65 plus I think it was like 10 shipping. Type in 75, hit send, boom. But about 3 to 4 days later, I get a message from this woman again. And she's like, hey, we're gonna start on your suit now. So do you want your gloves detachable or do you want them attached? How high do you want your boots? Do you want your boots detachable? Like, do you want a U-zipper or a straight back zipper? What do you want to do about the mask? Like all kinds of questions, like really making sure the whole time that like everything was what I wanted, making sure I was aware of the choices and making them, instead of them just taking liberties, which meant a lot because usually when you send a commission, I feel like they're like, boom, here's your suit, bye. But they actually asked like, hey, like before we sell on your gloves, do you want them separate, and all kinds of really nice stuff. So now we're at the phase where about like 10 days pass, which is about what they estimate on their website for how long it takes to make a suit. And I get a message and she's like, hey, we're about to mail out your suit, but before we mail it out, we wanted to make sure it's what you want. And they sent me 3 or 4 photos of the finished suit like laid out on a table and like let me decide before it shipped to me if that was like good enough, basically. And I got to be like, yeah, here's my sign of approval, like go ahead and mail it out. The day after that, I get the like shipping number, and it is 2 days after that it arrives. So the shipping was obscenely fast, and overall like 12 days roughly to get a suit is incredible, especially for something that is a custom order and not even a default suit that they have. I do want to say, as far as customer service goes, the only mild pet peeve I had was email response times are really slow on the small things. Like in the overarching scale, it's really fast. But when we would be hashing out small things that I felt were halting the entire process of the suit, like when she asked me about the gloves or the boots or whatever, she would email me and it would come in at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And I would email back around like 7 or 8, but I wouldn't get a response till about 5 or 6 the next morning. So I don't know when their shop hours operate, but it felt like there was a lot of like missed time. So that's something to note if you're communicating with them, like if you're rushing. But overall, like they respond within a day and it was fantastic. And honestly, like I can't stress enough how user-friendly it was, because this is the first time I had a custom order and they really like made sure it was everything that I wanted, and it was so nice to have that kind of communication the whole way, especially because I kind of expected, okay, here's your picture, here's your suit, thanks for buying from us. But it was a really good like user-friendly experience, and I will probably order more custom suits in the future just because of that. So yeah, let's try on the suit and see how it looks. Okay, so this is the suit. I'm pretty happy with it. The spandex is a really nice thick spandex that I feel like is thicker than most in comparison to my Zentai suits that I have. I also feel like if this was an all yellow or other light colored suit, I wouldn't have to worry about it being see-through based on how this fabric feels and looks, especially in the gloves. Like, I don't really see any color bleeding. All of the yellow details though are top stitched. So if you're someone who doesn't like the look of top stitch or how the seam lines of top stitch look, that is something to note. However, I think that the top stitch is better because at least in this case, it keeps the yellow kind of more vibrant than I feel like it would be. But again, if it's not going to be a see-through yellow, that might not be a problem. So with the top stitching, you can kind of see the seam lines of the red underneath on certain parts, which doesn't bother me, but might bother you if you're someone who really cares about that sort of thing. In addition, in certain spots, you can really see the seam work. For instance, on the hip, there is kind of like a bar that comes out that is canonical, and I'm actually impressed that they noticed that. But there's also a little bit of overlap where you can see the fabric underneath kind of doing a layer color density thing. So on the back there's a zipper, and it's not a hidden zipper, which I might have been able to ask for but just didn't. That being said, I feel like it's really sturdy and I'm not really concerned about it popping or anything, even though the suit is quite form-fitting. And in addition, I feel like the red was a good color choice on their part because I didn't really know if they were going to pick like a silver zipper or black zipper or a hidden zipper. So that was their choice, and I think it matches the red pretty well, so I'm overall pretty happy with it. So the neck portion on the suit is actually higher than a normal suit. Most Zentai suits have a mock neck that's only about maybe an inch tall. However, this suit canonically has kind of like a fabric mask that comes down, but I didn't really like how those looked, nor did the consultant that I was talking to feel like they could get to look how it did in the comics when I messaged her about suit details. So, in order to kind of get this appearance that is connected, I wanted the neckline to be higher than most suits. So I actually provided them with a neck measurement, and they actually elongated it for me. So if you get a custom suit, you can get it with any neckline within reason. Like if you wanted it to not have a mock neck or have a mock neck or a turtleneck, it seems like they're also able to do that, and it fits very well. So I really appreciate that. Additionally, when I got it, they had asked me if I wanted the gloves and the boot portions to be attached and how long they should be and all kinds of stuff that I gave them information on. And I don't know if it's always the case, but they didn't charge me more for detachable gloves. So these do come off, and there's a good substantial portion of overlap, so that way I don't see kind of skin in between the suit and the glove. As you can see, this portion goes down to about my wrist and the gloves come up to here. So there's a good portion to make sure that there's no gapping, which is really nice. I think that's good. Okay.